What's up? A lot of people have been asking me for a Hakuda guide. Initially I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm bored as shit, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna divide the video into like 3 sections, so beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But first I'm gonna talk about my stats and stuff. So I'm on 50 Hakuda, 15 speed. It's like the most basic build. I mean, there's nothing really else you can do with it unless you like Hakuda Keto or something, or a Shunko. But this is my hotbar. I have crazed blitz, but if you're not running crazed or any essence, I was gonna try out partial essence because that's pretty good. But if you don't have any essence right now, I would recommend going like ankle splitter. That's pretty much it. Ankle splitter is like the only good one. And for the res, I'm on slash. I've always been on slash. I've tested out different reses and stuff, but I think slash is the best for me. But if you don't want to run slash, you can run like bone. Light isn't bad. It's better on like speed, kendo, and all that. People think it's broken on Hakuda, but it really isn't. But it's still good. Storm is really good. I'd say it's better than slash. That's pretty much it. You can like make your own build, like experiment with stuff, but I'm just running slash right now. So for the beginner tips, I'm just gonna start out with the basics. So first of all, you should be delaying all of like most of your moves when you're in the air. Like if you're gonna up tilt someone, don't like instantly press negation or instantly like spam Tora reach, because they're gonna just parry it, or because they're just gonna be holding F. If you've noticed that like if you're fighting a good player, they're gonna like watch your windups, because negation has a windup. Most of the moves have a windup, so they're not gonna like hold block instantly. But generally, like the general rule is you're supposed to be delaying your moves so you can guard break. Another tip is to not use guard break moves after you've already using a guard break move. So if you're gonna up tilt someone and use like death flare and you guard break them, don't use Tora reach, because that's literally a waste. It doesn't really do damage, so you're kind of getting nothing out of it. You should use something like rising shot or pulse. Pulse also gives you ray, which is good. Or you can use an M2, because M2 keeps airtime, obviously. I use spine rend sometimes after I guard break someone, because honestly spine rend is not that much of a good move anymore. And if you didn't know, spine rend out of the entire moveset on all of Hakuda, spine rend does keep the most amount of airtime. So if you use spine rend in the air, you could also do some stuff with Sero grab. You can spine rend, spam Sero grab, and then you could land another move because of how much airtime spine rend has. So yeah, you could do that with Tora reach too, but Tora reach is slightly less. So if you don't have good ping, you try to do the Sero grab thing, it might not work, but yeah. Okay, well this guy's fighting me. Nice. Yeah, so you saw right there, I used Tora reach and I used like pulse right after. Like I'm not gonna use like negation or death flare after that, because he's already guard broken, so there's no point. I'm using rising shot right here. When you guard break someone with negation though, you probably should use another guard break move, because if you guard break with like the first few hits of negation, and then you hit them again with like the next sequence of the punches, it actually like removes their stun from the guard break, so they can start blocking again. So that's like the only move I would say that if you're gonna guard break someone, then you can probably use Tora reach or death flare or whatever. Alright, so I'm gonna get into the intermediate tips. So the first one I'd probably start out with is like baiting blocks, baiting parries, and baiting counters. So when you're up tilting someone and like you know they might be like decent at parrying or something, or you know they have a counter, maybe they're kendo and they have pressure shift or whatever, you can up tilt someone maybe use pulse and then turn away last second. If you watch my other videos, you probably see I do that a lot. With negation, something like negation, you can go like this, turn around. I messed up there, but you can like turn around and then like turn back around after like the first 2 hits of negation, because it messes up their parry window. So yeah, that's the first tip. The next tip, I'd just say, is feinting your M1s. People will argue that this is like a beginner tip, but honestly, like, I see other people doing all of the other tips that I mentioned before they like start feinting M1, so I don't know. You could argue that this is a beginner tip, but whatever. But yeah, you should be feinting your M1s like sometimes. Don't like spam it, because they're gonna like start realizing like you're not using M1s. And you could like mix it up too, like maybe feint M1 and then the next M1 you use it, like stuff like that. Because it baits out their block, and if they're a guy who likes to dash out of Hakuda combos, which is way easier, and better players do that, it baits out their dash too. But yeah, and honestly, that's pretty much it for the intermediate tips. It's kind of hard to give tips on like how to play Hakuda. Like, you kind of just like play it and learn, like, and you just like make up your own stuff and your own play style. So it's pretty hard to like give concrete like suggestions on what to do, because like obviously you're not gonna play like a robot and just follow like everything I do like by heart. But I'm gonna move on to advanced tips now. I want to talk about one move for the advanced, is Grand Entrance. A lot of people use Grand Entrance because me and my friend made the meta like 6 months ago or something when version 1 was out. But I don't see anyone using it right, and recently it just got reverted. If you didn't know that, you can jump up in the air, Grand Entrance like that, and it goes down. You don't have to actually like have air time from a move. And it stuns for a very long time. You can, if you Grand Entrance, catching dragon, it's true every single time. If you're running slash like I am, it's probably the easiest. You can use Ravage, jump mid Ravage, Grand Entrance like that. That's the easiest way. And then, I mean, other ways you can use it. Whirlwind step. Oh. But what I was gonna say was, you can use Grand Entrance off like, this is what I like to do. I like to use it off like Whirlwind step. So let me wait for the cooldown. Yeah, so I like to use Whirlwind step with it. You just jump at the end, go like that. A lot of times I see people mess up Grand Entrance because they use it too early after jumping. So they'll jump and then instantly use it like that. You can't do it like that or else it's not gonna work. You kind of have to wait towards like the end of the jump. You could even use it like right when you hit the ground. Even if you're touching the ground, you can still use it, like just for a small time frame. So like this. That's the way to time it. Next thing I'm going to talk about is posture control. This kind of ties in with how I was talking about not using a guard break move after you've already guard broken someone, but it's kind of more complicated because you need to know like how much posture your moves do. Like, I know Ravage, if a guy blocks the entire Ravage, it'll do around like 3 bars of posture. So if he blocks my entire Ravage, I know I could probably use like an M2 or a Pulse, and they'll probably be guard broken. So like if you use a move and they've already like blocked it, don't use like a guard break move like Death Flare or something, like, or like slash tempo. I know this does 4 bars of posture, so if I land it on someone mid-air, I'm just gonna use Rising Shot because I know it's gonna guard break. And then from there you can use like Pulse since you've already guard broken him, and then you can use the guard break because then there's 0 posture. So another thing I wanted to talk about that I've started doing recently, this doesn't really have like impact in terms of like the combo, like it really doesn't help at all, but I'm sure if you've seen my other videos, I like to dash like before I do a move. Like, I dash backwards or something like this, or I'll like flash that midair, and honestly it kind of has like no value, but I noticed it kind of like throws people off. Like, literally just you dashing like they don't know what the hell you're doing. Like they just think you're like stupid or some shit. So I like doing that. You don't even have to do that. Like I just do it, but I notice it works sometimes, and like people complain about it to me when they lose. They say it's like weird and stuff. So that's pretty much it, honestly. Like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to like give like concrete tips on how to play Hakuda because it's more of like you just like have a play style and like do your own stuff. But if you want like a more in-depth guide, more of like me fighting, just let me know. And yeah.